Hey guys, so today I want to share with you a fairly realistic forecasting strategy on how you can make $1 million in your first year as an advisor, an acquisitions advisor. And I can tell you how to do that because I've done more than $1 million in my first year as an advisor. And I'm going to show you exactly how some of our acquisitions.com advisors are doing the same. So I'm going to share a financial model that I created that is basically, let me show you. So this one comes from a fairly real story we got going on right now. So maybe I'll share that first. Okay, so I'll share with you what is needed to get those results before we show you how to get those results. So this is one of our advisors, right? He got no idea what is acquisitions before that. And as you can see, last month he brought in $61,000. And those are some of the retainers that he's getting from clients. So I'll get to it in a second. But just to give you an idea, this is what the calendar need to look like to get results like that. All right. And then you're able to get deal flow like this. This is actually came inbound for me. This is like showing you what is the next level after you get those initial deals, what that looks like. Like you get inbound messages of people trying to sell casinos with a $1.2 billion ask. Now, if you can make 1 to 10% of the deal, probably less than 10% on the deal like that for sure. But it just shows you what's possible as far as acquisitions advisory. The business model in a nutshell, if it's the first time you hear about it, is you're going out there and you work with people who want to buy a business and or people who want to sell a business. And you advise usually just one of the sides. That's the way I want to do it. I like to keep things fully transparent and to have one side that I support. So usually in today's module, I'm going to show you how to work with the buyers. With a buy-side advisor, you take between 1 to 10% of the deal at closing as your fee, as your milestone fee. And you don't need to be a broker for that, right? We have a way of structuring it legally such that you don't need to be a broker for that. You take 1 to 5%, usually on $1 million deal, you take $50,000 at closing your fee. And I like to also take a retainer up front, so at least $5,000 retainer up front for the work I'm going to do in initiating and finding opportunities for the buyers, right? So if I'm going to present to him business sellers, then it takes time, it takes effort, it takes me doing the work. So I want to be compensated for that. So that's where most of the money comes. But you also have other opportunities to make money, which is, let's say on the buy side, it can be on both sides, but let's keep it simple because today we're going to talk about the buy side. On the buy side, you have the retainer, you have the closing fee, and then you can also introduce him to banks, and you can take 1 or 2% fee from the loan. So let's say you have $1 million loan, you take another 1 or 2% there. You can take a referral fee if you're referring them to lawyers and accountants. And same goes for investors, right? Plus, let's say that you refer to them a deal with other broker, you can take another percentage there from the broker, right? So that's another something to think about. Although to take a percentage from the broker, it's something I'm not 100% towards because I want to make sure that the buyer know that I'm on his side and I want to make sure that he's successful. So let me share with you the financial module and how it can look like. And again, this is from a very realistic scenario that I already showed you, right? So maybe let's remove this part first. Right, let's remove this. And oops, yeah, let's just remove this. So we start the first month. So first month, what you need to come up with is 3,000. And again, you don't have to do that, but this is for people who want to get results fast. Like a lot of people ask me if I had to start from scratch, what I need to do. I would do this because otherwise the other methods, like there's a lot of other methods where you can get results instead of advertising, which is doing things like outreach. So it's email outreach, it's LinkedIn outreach, it's all cold calls, it's events, it's direct mail, right? All those different strategies, it's creating a personal brand and creating content online. So those strategies are great, but from what I see, most people are just not as committed to this right away. Plus, there's only so much you can do here. So with outreach, if you do outreach for email, you'll probably need at least 2 weeks just to warm up new email accounts. LinkedIn, you have a limit of how many LinkedIn outreach messages you can send. Cold calls, obviously you have limits. And I didn't meet personally a lot of people are really good at cold calls. Like this is a skill. You need to become really good at this. And events, of course, also you got a limit. Direct mail, you need to put money. So personally, I just prefer to put it on online advertising, although I know people who get great results with direct mail. It's just a matter of where you want to put your focus on. And personal brand, I'll talk about personal brand. Like I might expand on it in the end, but personal brand is probably one of the best things you can do for yourself. Like right now, a lot of deals that I'm receiving are coming inbound. So people who see my videos message me with deals. They want to be investors, they want to buy a business, they want to sell a business, and that's where I can do a lot of transactions. But that's a more long-term situation, right? When you start out, if you want results fast, like this is what I would do. So again, let's open it up. So I would spend at least 3,000 on your first month, which based on what we're seeing right now, we can get around 30 calls for that 3,000. So it's $100 per cost per call. Now, not everyone is going to show up. So this is what we're seeing on our end, around 60, 50, it depends on the month, but between 50 to 70% show up rate. So it means that you'll do 20 calls, and assuming you're going to have a 10% conversion rate, which is very doable. Like we aim to close 20 or 30%, but let's say it's your first month, you don't have much experience, you need to follow our script. We'll support you in the process. Let's say you close just two. Right? So our cost per client is $1,500 or 3,000 on 3,000 spent. And like I said, we suggest you ask for at least $5,000. And this can be, a lot of people ask me, is it a recurring? Is it not? It depends. You can ask whatever you want. Like one of our best advisor, Mark, he's asking right now, he's charging few companies in total, he get $100,000 a month just from retainers, from ongoing retainers, right? So instead of working with few individuals, he's working with bigger companies, and those bigger companies pay him ongoing. But here, this is assuming that you work with an individual who's looking to buy a business, and you charge him at least $5,000. Then you ask anywhere between 1 to 10% at closing, and assuming on the first month you're not closing any deal. Right? So what you made is $10,000 from those two clients. And of course, if your conversion rate is getting higher, then guess what? You're going to get another client. Let's say you get a third client, then your numbers are totally different. But let's say you just made $10,000. Our fee right now, so we just launched our acquisitions.com agencies, which means that the same marketing team that's been running my ads for years can run your ads. That's why it's such a game changer opportunity to really cut your learning curve. And again, I'm not here to hard sell you. I'm just here to show you this is the way to get results fast. Like we have advisors who join us on just the program, and I know a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them get great results and already closing deals, but it just takes them more time. They're not as committed, they're not as accountable. This is for people who are accountable and want to see results right away. Right? And assuming you don't have a sales team, so you're taking all the calls yourself, you're taking at least 20 calls, like you can do it part-time, you can take all your calls in the weekend if needed. Like I showed you what a calendar of a full-time advisor should look like, which is, in my opinion, 4 or 5 hours of taking calls, finding new clients, and another 4 or 5 hours of delivering, basically servicing, fulfilling the product, the promise that you have for the buyer. So CRM cost, by the way, a lot of CRMs, if you're using GHL or HubSpot or Pipedrive or whatever it is, you can get to a few $100s a month. If you work with us, we set up everything for you. We set up a website for you, right? So that's also zero cost for you. So your total cost for the first month it's 6,000. Sorry, right? Because we have ad spend as well. So ad spend should actually be here. Then this one, let's do total cost here. All right, 6,000 total cost, 10,000 cash collected. You're being left with $4,000 profit in your first month. All right, this is not a get rich quick thing. This is not a become a billionaire in a day. But here's the cool thing. This is what can happen. Let me just bring back those other tabs, right? So this is what can happen if you reinvest back your profit, right? So let's say you now take the profit that you had. So this was 6,000. You're left with 4,000, we said, profit. And let's say you reinvest it back, or I assume that it's 7,000, but let's say you double your ad spend next month because you want to scale, right? And now you're have more calls booked, you're taking more calls, and I just assume that you still keep your conversion rate the same. You didn't improve, but if you improve this, obviously, if you can get 5 clients, 6 clients, like I'm trying to keep it fairly reasonable and doable, right? So you enroll 4 people out of 40 people you talk to. Do you think it's doable? It's reasonable, like 1 out of 10, right? Like our best people do 1 out of 5. When I talk to people, I enroll 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, right? It depends the source and all that, of course, and the price and the deal, and if it's a buyer or seller. But this is very doable to get 4 people to pay you $5,000 each, which puts you at 20,000. Now, the expense that you have is still 3,000 for us, and then 6,000 on ad spend. So again, we're missing here the ad spend. So it's 17,000 minus 6. So you're at $11,000 in profit in your second month. Now, here's the beauty of what happens in the third month. Remember, we have people that we worked with. So we have 6 clients that we work with. And my goal is for you to take at least one of those guys and close a deal with him. And this can be in the third month, fourth month, right? But the goal is to do it as soon as possible. When you close on a deal, assuming you take 5% on $1 million deal, you're bringing on an additional $50,000 payday, right? That's where you can start to see capital events. And I'm not even talking about sell side, like this video is about the buy side. The sell side is much more lucrative, but I think it's longer to start because it's more difficult for someone who have no experience whatsoever to convince a business owner to sell his multi-million-dollar business. That's why I suggest to people to start on the buy side. We can connect you with deals on the sell side, like to connect deals to your buyers, clients, so you could quickly get to those numbers, like get to a point where you're making 7, 10, 20,000 a month. And here, like the numbers here, as you can see, like this is already $1 million business, right? $1 million run rate business. So if 80,000 or here just from retainers, so in the fourth month, if you didn't close a deal, but you continue to make calls, then just from the retainers, you can be $1 million business. And as you can see in the fourth month, or even the third, you can already hire a salesperson. So we have a lot of people in our network that they will take calls for you on behalf of you for 10% of the deal, right? Of the retainers, not necessarily on the deal. If you want them to be involved in the deal, then we can have another account manager for a percentage here as well. Which again, all is negotiable, depends on the amount of work, depends on the type of deal, depends on the person and his experience and track record. So in a nutshell, this is the flow, right? So I hope it makes sense. And I'm not talking, I know sometimes I talk fast, but hopefully this is not overwhelming. This is the path. Now, few things, the difference in results, people ask me, what is the difference between a successful advisor versus not? And here's why it's easier with acquisitions.com. Because the difference is in the ongoing new creative, like we run ads. To run ads, that's why we have an in-house marketing agency, right? So to start an agency like that on your own or to build a team like that on your own, with that experience will cost you at least $20,000 a month. You need video editors, you need media buyers, you need people to help you build the websites and funnels and CRMs and whatnot and connect everything, right? It will cost you a lot of money. So to do that versus using what's working for us for years now, right? That's the reason we can get $100 cost per call, right? If you run it from scratch, it'll probably cost you $200, $300 cost per call at least, and then the numbers will not work for you because you will not be able to be profitable. It will be very difficult. Another reason that things are working well for us is because we are running a lot of traffic to warm leads. So we run proper retargeting on proven campaigns. So a lot of people that are going to book calls that are already booking calls with our advisors or might book a call with you as an advisor already saw the name acquisitions.com. So guess what? If you're from acquisitions.com, from day one, you have immediate authority, right? Because you can show previous deals that we work on. Obviously, we have the brand. Like I would always prefer to work with, like, I'm sure you would agree that if you saw acquisitions.com to help you with buying and selling businesses, you'd be and have more certainty compared to, I don't know, seeing joeschmo.com will help you buy a business, right? So from day one, even if you have no experience whatsoever and you're part of acquisitions.com and we give you a page on our website and an email on acquisitions.com, that's immediate proper authority. Then you need to be good at sales. All right, so of course we have the script, we have the processes, we can train you, we have people who've been doing it for years and can really get you improved in the process. So from day one, you can just follow the words that you were using to close at least 10% and the goal to get you to 20%. And of course, the retainers, those are all negotiable as well. You can ask for more upfront, you can ask for less and more percentages. It's really up to you and your goals and your demand for cash flow today versus your goals to have higher percentages at closing. We have amazing pre-call follow-up system, right? So we send in emails, SMS, voice notes, a lot of things that are kind of covering all the different aspects of follow-ups, pre-call, post-call. We have a CRM that you'll get from day one, again, set up specifically for you to be able to track all your conversation and leads. And on the back end, after you get a client, we have a lot of deals, banks, investors, and due diligence team to help your clients close on deals. Right. So again, to be successful at this, you want to prepare, right? So to summarize, you want to have financial modeling, you want to forecast, you want to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you will get to a random place. You need to have a goal to get there, right? You need to have a math. You need to do the math to understand what the cost per call that you need to have and the number of calls you need to make based on the conversion rate that you have to get to your financial goal. Right. So I just had a call yesterday with a vice president who's bringing 300,000 a year in salary, and he said, "Look, I want to get to that number as soon as possible, so I could replace my the income from my job, so I could do this full time." And it's great. That's why we are doing those forecasts, so we can prepare on what that can look like to bring in 30,000 a month, and then to decide if you want to keep doing it on your own or scale it with a team. Like for me at my peak, we had I think 13 or 14 like people taking calls full time, just buyers and sellers. And then I realized that I have other businesses and stuff that I want to do. So I don't want to be the main thing. But now like it's like we're licensing and showing you everything that we've done in the last few years to do more than $1 billion in deals. So all the funnels, all the process, all the ads, all the pages and converting videos that people will watch, we are basically white labeling our process to people who are interested in a new career or they want to a complementary revenue stream alongside what they do. So we have a lot of people in the real estate space that want to have another revenue stream or service they can offer to their clients, or a lot of lawyers and accountants that want to do that. And it's really lucrative if you are in touch already with buyers, like people with money or business owners in general. You have a massive opportunity that you miss out on if you're not advising on some of those opportunities. And I think you need to, yeah, see what you could do to be successful at this. And I think our offer right now is pretty straightforward. Like I don't like to run in circles and around the bushes. Like if you go to companies like Transworld right now, which is the largest real estate business brokerage in the US, they charge you $60,000 up front, plus take 10 or 20% of your deal. We are not doing it right now because we have a goal to do deals on the back end with my company, rollups.com. So at this point, our fee is very reasonable. In the future, we might take a percentage of deals as well. But right now in our launch phase, we're only taking a retainer on running ads on behalf of the advisor, or we have like a done with you option where we can support you in the process and you do the work on your own. And it just might take you longer, and that's okay as well. So everyone is in a different situation. Some people want those results faster, no matter what it takes. I know that for me personally, that's my personality. Like if I decide to go on something, I go all in. I don't like to go around and figure out and just buy a training video and watch it. Like if I have a done for you option, I go all in. I want the branding, I want the authority, I want to make money next week. And that's the beauty with the agency that we launched right now, which is it's our elite advisory. It's you becoming an elite acquisitions.com advisor. And if you join this, like within a week, you can be in front of calls and closing deals. And this is, I think, a really, really great opportunity. That's why I'm so certain and confident in putting it out there and selling it so direct like this, because I know it can change at least hopefully one person's life who watching this. I know for a fact he can get to multiple 6 and 7 figures income very, very fast if he's committed to the process and is willing to take advice and support from us. And of course, you'll have access to me, my team. Like we'll have a personalized WhatsApp group, all of that to support you in the process. And I know for a fact that it can help a lot of you. So yeah, if you're interested in learning more, just email support@acquisitions.com or figure out in our newsletters the right links, or just email the team and we'll talk to you and see if it's a fit. I want to make sure that we have people that are representing our brand the right way and not just random people who look to take advantage of what we have, because we have those scenarios as well. That's why we are very we're filtering who we're giving the access to the website and the emails. We don't want people out there spamming the world wide web with our email, right? So hopefully that is being respected and people are going to take it seriously. And then if they do, we'll be here to support you in whatever we can. So yeah, hopefully this was valuable for anyone. Let me know in the comments below if you like it, and I could potentially do like a sell side acquisition advisory sell side forecast, so you see what it can look like if you work with business sellers. If it will be valuable for you, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to prepare that potentially. All right, take care. Have a good one.